Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am actually at my best friend and my brother's house right now. They recently redid their kitchen and she really wanted a coffee bar. So I figured why not do that for her since she's so good to me all the time. She helps me with my kids. So anyway, with all that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into today's video. Okay guys, so to start off this video, I just wanted to show you the couple little simple Dollar Tree DIYs that I did for this coffee bar. So I just start with one of the little houses, one of the little wooden shaped houses, and then one of these little hanging picture frames. I don't really know what you want to call it, but I just start by taking the sticker off of the wood shape and then I sand that down smooth. Once I have the stickers off, then I just take this one right out of the package. Once I have it out of the package, then I take the back off of the picture frame and just get rid of that little piece of paper in there, as well as the jute that was around it. So I just threw those away, and then I took this little wooden house, I cut along the inside edge, and then I stand it up and I cut around that outer edge to get the back away from the frame. Next, I take some 100% acetone nail polish remover, and I did not want to remove my nail polish, so I did just put a glove on and take a paper towel, and I just rubbed off those images that were on these little canisters. Once I did that, then I just took the plastic stopper off of the lid, and then I set the jars aside. I then just take some crimson and Waverly chalk paint, and I painted 2 of the lids in the crimson and then 2 of the lids in fawn. And my best friend's kitchen is like red and tan. She's really into the primitive look, where I'm more modern farmhouse, so I did want to do these to match her decor. So I put those lids aside to dry. You want to make sure that you're letting the first coat dry before you put the second coat, because it'll just pull off. And then I just gave the wooden shape and the picture frame a coat of white Waverly chalk paint. And then I had this little jar, you guys, I believe I got it from Dollar Tree, but don't quote me on that. It didn't have a tag on it. I'm one of those people that like take the tags off usually on things like this and like put everything away. Sometimes that gets me in trouble, but I don't know, I just can't help it. So I don't know where it came from, but I did give it a good coat of white Waverly chalk paint. And then for the wooden frame, I did give this a coat of that same fawn color. I did do the inside, the outside, and the front edge. I wasn't too worried about the back edge because you're not going to see it, but if you are concerned with that, then you can definitely give that a coat of paint as well. Next, surprise, surprise, I take my chip brush and some ink Waverly chalk paint, and I dry brush all the way around this frame, as well as all the way around the house frame as well. I did want to say really quickly that if you guys are in the US and if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I wanted to wish all you guys a happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm a day late and $1 short, but I was really busy yesterday. I kind of stayed off social media just to spend time with my family, and I think a lot of times in life we are just go, 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 go. So on holidays and stuff, I like to kind of unplug and be with the family. Just because we don't always get those moments. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys had a wonderful day and your bellies are full. So moving on to the back of this frame, I did just take a piece of scrapbook paper, and this is kind of like a grayish faux wood, and I just traced that out. cut it out, and then I took my glue stick and I just glued the back of that rather than on the paper. I just think it works better, and then you know that it's sticking down really well. So once I put the glue on, then I just put that piece of scrapbook paper down and I smooth that out. Now there is this little piece at the top where the back hanger is that kind of bubbled up, but once I was done, you couldn't really see it too much, so I wasn't too worried about that. But if you're worried about it, you can always remove that piece from the back and then just smooth that over. Here we go. And get rid of that. But like I said, I wasn't too worried about it. So I did go on the computer. I printed off, but first coffee, and then I did print the little cup separately, and then I just taped it into that space because I couldn't get it to sit right, like it wanted to be below the coffee, so I just cut it out and taped it on, and then transferred it on with my Arteza graphite paper. I then take my Arteza paint pen and I go over this wording. You guys, these paint pens are so buttery. I cannot get enough of them. So I did want to mention that Arteza is having a huge Black Friday sale this weekend. So if you are looking to get any of these supplies, now would definitely be the time because they only do a sale like this once a year. So once I went over the wording, I put it back in the frame. I made a very simple little burlap bow, and then I glued that right to the corner. Boom, you are done. Such a quick, high-end looking little coffee bar sign. So here at All Things Crafty, we love to do all things crafty on a budget, especially Dollar Tree DIYs, farmhouse decor, and much more. So I would love it if you would become part of the family by clicking the red subscribe button. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Share it with your family and friends if you think they would enjoy it. And leave a comment down below letting me know if you guys like this coffee bar and which DIY for the coffee bar was your favorite. Next, I just take this little jar and my chip brush and I just dry brush all the way around that jar just to give it some dimension and kind of highlight those little dots. And I don't know, I just love the way that it turned out. You can leave this white or dry brush with a different color. It's totally up to you. So anyway, once I dry brushed that on, then I did just take a piece of jute and wrapped it around the neck of the bottle. And then I had these little mini ornaments from Walmart, and they went perfectly with my best friend's decor. Like I said, she likes that primitive farmhouse look, so these little stars were perfect. So I did just take one of those out of the pack. They have a jute hanger on them so you can hang them on a tree. So I kind of just slid it through my jute, and then I pulled it down so that it was hanging off, and then I tied it. I glued the excess of the hanger of the star around the neck of the bottle just so that way it kind of blended in and you couldn't really tell that it was the end of the star. And then I just took my excess jute, I wrapped it around the back, tied it, and then cut the ends off. And then you guys, that was it for that one. So quick and easy. I did just cut a few pieces of the Dollar Tree pit berries and kind of stood them up in there to make them look like floral. So I thought that was really cute, and she loved it, so I was definitely satisfied with that one. So moving on to this little house, do you guys believe that I found this chicken wire at Dollar Tree? Yes, that's right, you heard me. I got this chicken wire from Dollar Tree, and there's a good bit in there, and I like it because it's not as thick as regular chicken wire you would get from like Walmart or Tractor Supply, so it's much easier to work with. But anyway, I just laid it over this house frame, and then I cut it down to size, leaving some excess just so that way you have extra to work with. I then just took my electric stapler, and I will link this in my Amazon favorites in the description box. If you click the title of this video, a box will appear, and that is where you will find all the description information. So like I said, I just stapled all the way around to hold this in place. I then kind of just bended up the chicken wire so that I could cut it much better. And then I just took my wire cutters and I just cut all the excess off. And then I just went in with my stapler on spots that I thought needed to lay down a little bit better. And then I moved on to the backing of this. So I just took that piece that we cut off, and I took my ruler and I just kind of traced the outline of the little house piece, but much smaller, because I want to cut this out to a smaller size so that way you can see the chicken wire in the back. So I wanted to do that with a ruler so that it would be straight, but of course, it did not come out straight, which it is what it is. You couldn't really tell, but I definitely could see it. So anyway, I just take my knife and I cut that out. It's really easy. You only have to score each side just a couple times, but be careful. I don't want anybody cutting themselves. And then I just sanded down the edges. Once I had the edges sanded, then I take my white Waverly chalk paint and I just give that a not so perfect coat because I like the look of that wood color showing through. It makes it look more rustic. And then I wanted to show you guys why I love Chalk Couture so much. This is not a Chalk Couture transfer. This is something I got from Michael's, and I'm just using some ink Waverly chalk paint and a brush. It takes much longer to get it in the silk screen, and then when you pull it up, it's just not as perfect as I would like it to be. So with chalk paint, you'd have to paint right over this, but with chalk paste from Chalk Couture, if you prep your surface, you can just erase it and do it again. So anyway, I dry brushed all the way around the edges with that same ink Waverly chalk paint. I made a triple jute bow, glued that to the top, and then I took some Jenga pieces and I glued them together just to make this pop off of that chicken wire a little bit better. And then I flipped it around. I laid this down on something, or first I glued the Jenga pieces to this little house piece. I then just laid something down, laid this face down, and then laid the frame on top and took my hot glue and just glued that down. I knew that if I did it reversed, then there would be hot glue all over the place. So anyway, once I had the hot glue on there, then I just let that set up before I moved it. And then look how cute this is, you guys. I am so in love with this. I will probably make one for myself. As always, you guys let me know which project was your favorite. So moving on to the house shape. Now this transfer is retired. You can't get it, but I definitely wanted to use the windmill. I have seen people find it on eBay. It's called Life on the Farm, so if you want to try to find that, hopefully maybe it'll come back this season for spring and summer. I'll definitely let you guys know, but it is a layered design. So you just take the first part, you use one color, and then you transfer that on with your squeegee, and then you pull that off, then let that dry, or I use a blow dryer, and then this will lay right on top, and you can see right where to lay it. It'll line up perfectly. You use your second color, pull that up, and then look how detailed this is, you guys. I cannot get enough. I love this transfer so much. and really all the transfers that I use. It's just so satisfying to put that chalk paste on there and then pull up that transfer, and it's really easy to clean up. If there is a spot that bleeds, you just take a Q-tip and wet it and then just pull it right off. It comes right off. So I, as usual, dry brush around the edges, and then I did dry brush the middle of this, and then boom, that quick and easy farmhouse decor. So last but not least, moving on to these little jars, I did take my little farmhouse minis. They are called Locally Grown. I will leave the link to these in the description box. There are 12 of them in one sheet. You just cut them down. So I picked out the 4 designs that I knew that my best friend would like. I lay down the transfer, squeegee it on once again, and then again, look how satisfying this is. I just can't get enough. When I'm not doing my videos, I play with the different transfers that I have. I have gotten a bunch over the last month or two. So anyway, you can see on that Simple Living one that it did have a little bit of a bleed. So again, I did just take a Q-tip, I wet it in the sink, and then I just cleaned up those edges. Look how easy this is. So for now, I'm done with these. I will show you guys in a little bit that when I got there, I asked her if she wanted jute on it or no jute around the neck, and she did want jute. So that was it for these for right this minute. And this is just a shot of them up on the shelves. So alright, let's get to the coffee bar. So they recently redid their kitchen. Fun fact, my best friend is with my brother. So although sometimes it's a weird dynamic, I definitely get the best of both worlds. But I sand down the surface, then I wiped it down, and I measured out where my pieces would go. I laid the chalkboard sticker down on the floor. This is by Arteza. I cut down the pieces, and then I took the pieces on the wall just like contact paper, and then I took a squeegee, and you want to leave a little bit of excess at the top. I wasn't too worried about the top because we put wood there just to tie it all in. So if you have a flat wall and you're not going to put trim, then definitely run it up and leave excess. But because this wall is slanted, it was a little bit difficult, but again, no big deal. So I did just transfer the one side on, or I put the one side on and then cut off the excess, and then I didn't show it because you guys, it's just like putting contact paper on. I did the same thing over and over, so I didn't think that you needed to see all that, but I just did the same thing for both sides and then cut off the excess. And then I used my Arteza chalk pens, and I freehanded all of this. If you guys are worried about freehanding it, then just go on the computer like I always do, and you can transfer it right on here. You will see it with some graphite paper, and then just go over it. And then I did show how easy it is to erase this stuff. I kept messing up on the little tails, and I couldn't figure it out, and then I figured out that that line had to be straight with the curl, if that makes any sense. So I do go back and fix that because it was driving me crazy. And then I wrote on there, Mina's 24/7 coffee bar. My daughter, when she was little, she couldn't say Venus, so that's Aunt Mina now. Here I am. I just take the jute and I wrapped it around the neck of these little jars, and I tied a bow. So I had to run and get my daughter. My brother put up the shelves just with a block, and he had made these shelves prior, and it was just up on the wall before I did this, so he took them down while I was gone. He put them back up. I then just decorated with all her stuff, we put the trim up, and then once I had that, we didn't have a piece of trim cut for the left side, and you guys, it was late. I had to get home and cook dinner and stuff, so my brother said he would do that another day. So I know it kind of looks dumb, but he was going to put crown molding up there, and I said absolutely not. You need to put another piece of that wood on the other side. It's not going to look right. So anyway, I just decorated for her. Some of the stuff is her stuff. Again, some of the stuff is the stuff that I made, and I just kind of arranged it. I filled in all the little parts that were visible with just coffee bar sayings, and then that was it. You guys, I was so excited to do this for her. Like I said in the beginning, she's so good to me. She doesn't let me pay her to watch my kids, and I just love her with all my heart and soul. She's the best friend a girl could ask for. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. If no one has told you guys today, you are worthy, you are beautiful, and I love you with all my heart. So anyway, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
We do anything for what we started.